As I'm looking at the picture, I'm looking out my window, and it has definitely transitioned from evening to almost nighttime. And so we're here as we have been almost every night. I confess that I missed one of my Omer turns. Was working on something else for CRC and just did not go on the air. So I apologize for that. It was way back in the teens. Probably very few remember that I forgot, but I remember that I forgot. So I guess before the counting is over, I'm gonna put it all out there, and that's the way it is. But other than that, as far as I know, every single nighttime around 8:30, we have had a moment where whoever is out there has gathered, and one of us on the rabbinic team has done a teaching or a song or a story or some combination thereof, and then counted the days of the Omer. And this, of course, as you can see under the logo, is now, as the sun has set, the 47th day of counting. And of course, we count to 50. 50 is Shavuot. But the last night of counting is Wednesday night, day 49. And then Thursday night, when the sun sets, it will be the holiday of Shavuot, which is the 50th day between Passover and Shavuot. So instead of counting, we have Shavuos. And there's lots of information out there. Seek it out if you don't know. But one of the traditions of Shavuot is to study all night in preparation to mirror the Torah story of receiving the Ten Commandments and the teachings of the Torah. And so I know there's going to be a Zoom community-wide Shavuot teach-in. Lots of different teachers and lots of different classes and choices. So check that out. But until then, we have a few more days of the Omer left. And here we go. So we are counting the Omer. And at the end of this song, we will count the 47th day, which will be tonight and tomorrow until sunset. But this year, of course, there has been another counting. We have been counting, at least I've been counting, I know many of you have too, the days that we've been sheltering in place, the days of the quarantine, the days of combating this virus that affects everybody around the whole wide world. And so that counting goes back before Passover, before the Omer starts. On Sunday, March 15th, which was, from my counting, the first weekend of the quarantine. CRC closed the sanctuary and the building on the Thursday before that. The Shabbat on March 16th and 17th was the first Shabbat that we did services remotely, only remotely. Somewhere in those same couple days, the city of St. Louis and St. Louis County instituted their stay-at-home kind of policies. That was 11 weeks ago, almost 3 months ago. That's not true. That was a long time ago. It was March 15th. I'm counting wrong. How ironic. And I'm not going to try to correct myself, but it was March 15th. That I know for sure. And I put on this shirt on March 15th, that Sunday, this shirt that says, everything's going to be all right. The message that we put into this prayer, the message really of the prayer, we just made it more explicit with the Bob Marley lyric. And I remember I sat in front of the fireplace because back then it was still winter and had had a fire in the fireplace. And Amy took a video of me singing Hashkivenu, which though it wasn't Shabbat, we put out on Facebook. I felt the need to sing Hashkivenu, if not just for myself, for anyone that cared to listen. It just felt like the message of hope and faith and everything's going to be all right was really needed right back then. There was a lot of uncertainty and a lot of anxiety. We know a little bit more now, but there's still a lot that is up in the air, a lot that is uncertain, and still anxiety and fear. And so I sang Hashkivenu back in March. But back then I know in my head and my heart, I did not fathom that I'd still be singing by video, that we'd be singing remotely, that we wouldn't be singing again back in the synagogue. Could not have thought that still at the end of May, we would still be sheltering in place, still quarantined, but here we are. And so since that night, since that counting, I have sung Hashkivenu a number of times. I sang it, of course, at Shabbat services Friday night. I sang it for this wonderful sweet boy on his birthday. He had to spend his birthday at a group home. He's getting so much better, but we sing Hashkivenu to him. I sang it at the last Hebrew school service for our 3rd through 6th graders, which was a service that had to be Zoomed because we couldn't be together, of course. Usually when we sing Hashkivenu at Hebrew school services, everyone puts their arms around each other and we hold each other, wish each other a good night. So we had to do that virtually. Just recently, I was at Schnucks doing my quarantine shopping. It's always a, what do you call it? It's a unique experience. It doesn't feel like shopping before the quarantine. You just want to get it done. So I had my mask on and I was shopping as fast as I could, and somebody who I did not recognize, I don't think I know the person, kind of stopped me. And there's not a lot of talk anymore at the grocery store, unfortunately. Everyone's just trying to get done. And he looked at me, he said, "Everything's going to be all right." And I just thought he was just trying to reassure me, and he was. And I kind of smiled at him. He said, "I read the article about Hashkivenu in the newspaper. Everything's gonna be all right." So we know, counting the Omer all these years, that the period of counting has a concluding moment, which is Shavuot. Last count will be Wednesday night, and then Shavuot will be Thursday night, and we won't count the Omer again until next year. But this other counting we're doing, this quarantine counting, we don't know when that will end. We don't know when we'll be able to return to our normal lives. We don't know when the virus will no longer threaten us and our loved ones and humanity. But you know, the same thing could be said about our biblical ancestors, the wanderers in the story of the Torah, the escaped Hebrew slaves when they left Egypt. They had no idea when they or their descendants would reach the Promised Land. Their counting had a beginning date, but it did not have a certain end date. And it wasn't easy, just like it's not easy for us. It wasn't easy for them. If you read the stories in the book of the Torah, we've just begun Bamidbar. there was a lot of tsuris and a lot of angst and a lot of sorrow, a lot of misdirection, a lot of bad behavior. So there's that word, midbar. Not only is it the Hebrew name of our friend Bear, but midbar means desert or desert wilderness, or wilderness, in this case, the desert. Because these are the stories of the people, our ancestors, wandering in the desert, day by day, not knowing when they would reach a destination. But that word midbar also has the Hebrew meaning of speaking, of talking. So linguistically we can say, and I think spiritually we can say, that despite the challenges and difficulty of being in the wilderness, the desert, those are places that also speak to us, that have something to teach us. Is the language trying to tell us that the desert can speak to us, something to teach us beyond just a vehicle, an in-between place to get us to the promised land? Rabbi Lawrence Kushner once wrote that we may never really reach our ultimate destinations as individuals or as a society, but it is still important to always be on our way, on the journey. Despite our lives being put on hold and our lives being put at risk, we are still on our way, even now. I do believe, I do have faith, I do understand that there will be an end. I don't know when it will be, but there will be a time when we'll have the virus under control and we'll be able to get back into a more normal way of life. But I do believe that this time in the midbar that we've been spending counting has had something to teach us and something to tell us. We have learned something, or maybe many things, and we have been transformed. And maybe there are things that we can improve about our lives and about the life of the world, even after the quarantine is over. So I wish I could promise myself and all of you an end date, but I can't. But it will happen. It will be longer than the period of the Omer, of course. It started before the Omer, and it won't end until after the Omer is over this year. But it will end, and we will emerge again. And until then, I will pray for an easing to the suffering to all those who are ill with the virus and otherwise ill, otherwise suffering. I will pray for sympathy and comfort for those who are mourning. It feels like a time of great loss. I will pray that there is support for those who were already vulnerable before the virus and before the shutdown. Before those events made all of us vulnerable. And so the people who were vulnerable already are even more so now, and I pray for them. I pray for you and your loved ones. I pray for our shelters in place to be shelters of peace. Words of Bono, I truly am trying as hard as I can, as often as I can, to throw my arms around the world. One of the ways I can do it is through this prayer, this song. Take this soul, living in my skin and bones. Take this soul and let it sing. Yahweh, always pain before a child is born. Yahweh, Yahweh, it's always dark before the dawn. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Allow us to lie and rise in peace, all of us, to lie down and rise up in peace, to lie down in peace and rise up to life. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Here we go, a deep breath. Nishima Amuka, breathing in everything that's high and good and holy and hopeful about right now, and breathing out the schmutz so we are free and clear to believe, to have faith, to be our best selves and sing out. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Hush, alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Ufros aleinu Sukkot. Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, and cover over us tonight with a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace for you, for those you love. A Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace for all creation, for everyone and everything that dwells on earth. May this night, the 47th day, is when we start the count of counting the Omer and I don't know, since March 15th, since we've been in quarantine. May this night bring a measure of beauty and love and rest and generosity and joy and compassion and love and peace. May it bring shalom to all creation, to everyone and everything that dwells on this earth. We are all one, going through this together. May there be shalom, wholeness, and peace tonight. And let us say Amen. All right. Tomorrow night, the blessing will be done by Rabbi Daniel, who's teaching University Series at 7, and we'll end with the Omer. And Wednesday, I believe, the Omer will be counted by Rabbi Jim after his Inner Judaism class, which also will start at 7, I'm pretty sure. Rabbi Daniel also has Talmud before the University Series on Tuesday at 5:30. And then Thursday night, Erev Shavuot, the Tikkun Leil Shavuot, the all-night study. Check CRC's website and announcements for information about how to get there. And then Shabbat, and onwards and onwards and onwards and onwards. But for now, we stop. We say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sifirat ha'omer. Blessed is the Holy One whose presence fills creation, where we learn about mitzvahs, sacred deeds that fill our lives with meaning and purpose, including this mitzvah of counting the days in between Passover and Shavuot, the 50 days between the escape from slavery and the receiving of the commandments to be ethical and moral with one another. The days between planting and first growth, the days between spring and getting towards summer. Felt like summer today. This being day 47 of that Omer period. Everything's gonna be alright. 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 No woman, no cry. No woman, no woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Good night, Lila Tov. Be well, stay well. Thinking about you, praying for you, loving you.